Crafters. This is Georgia Lane with Creative Moments by G. We're very excited today. The card that we're making is just a wonderful kindness card. The real star of this card is the embossing folder that we used from Stampin' Up. I don't know if you can see it, but it is just a beautifully embossed card and just really makes a statement. So let's head over to the crafting table and let's get started. We have this beautiful kindness card that we made. Isn't it nice? And you can see that we've embossed the base card. We have a little message in the middle of it. You make me smile. So your kindness means so much, more than you will ever know. You make me smile. And as you can see, we've embossed this lettering. Isn't that beautiful? So pretty. Well, where do you get these supplies? Well, for this paper, this is a designer series paper, and in the annual catalog, you can buy that paper, Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper, for $11.50 on page 165. And then we use the stamp set Colorful Seasons on page 56 for this stamp right here, and also this cute little flower. So cute. Let's talk about what you're going to need to make this card. Besides the stamp set, you're also going to need a piece of paper. So you'll just take an 8.5 by 11, you'll cut it in half, and you will score it at 4 1/4 so that we have our card just like this, and ours is going to be a top fold card. Then of course you're going to need something for the message inside. So you'll need it's about 5 1/4 by 4 inches for the inside. You're going to need a strip of paper for the front of it, and the strip is cut 2 inches by 5 1/2. For our little message, you're going to need to cut 2 circles, so you're going to need to use punches for those. And you can use a sunburst punch, and that is 2 1/2, and this one is a 2 1/4 punch. We used pumpkin pie paper for our card base, and we used the designer series paper for this, of course, and we used Mossy Meadow and Whisper White. Now, I want to talk just a moment about embossing. I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but to emboss, we used Stampin' Up's embossing tool. So nice because it has 2 heat settings on it. One is to dry the ink, and the other one, the high one, is to actually emboss and to get that raised lettering that you get when you emboss something. And we embossed with gold, and we're not going to show that today. We went ahead and did that behind the scene so that we would have more time to make the card, but we will have a video on how to emboss if you don't know how to emboss. So let's go ahead and put our card together. Now, we talked about that we used the embossing folder. You just take your paper, your cut paper, you line it up, and you run it through the machine. Now, see this little Stampin' Up right here? That's the top of the embossing folder. Because if you do it upside down, I mean, you could turn your card that way, yes, and fix it, but it's raised. And see, this is not raised. And so you want the raised side on the outside of your card. So let's go ahead and put the inside card on first. So we are going to use our tape runner for that. Just put a little bit of tape, not much. We're going to stick it down, and remember, tape runner is really not very forgiving, so you need to get it down exactly where you want it. And on the front, remember I said we cut that strip 2 inches by 5 1/2, and so we put it about right there. But we also have a white piece of paper that we've cut, and that piece of paper is a little bit bigger than this. Before we put this piece of paper down, we have to glue it down to the mat that's underneath it, just to give it that white border. We forgot to mention that before. And this strip is actually 1.5 by 5.5, and this one is 1 3/4. We got our measurements a little confused. So let's go ahead and put this down. On our white piece of paper. And we are just having a border on the outsides, not down at the top and the bottom. It's just on the sides. And this is where this is going to go, about like that. Now on this one, we're going to use wet glue because we want to make sure that it really sticks. And we remember we have an embossed area, and so we want to make sure that it gets in all those little embossed areas. So let's go ahead. Really push down to make sure that it adheres to the base card. We don't want it coming up, right? Okay. Next, we're going to take our two shapes that we cut out, remember, and we are going to go ahead and just glue this top one down, the embossed one down. So we'll just use a little bit of tape runner. Get it right where you want it. Okay. And now we're going to use some dimensionals, and I like to use all the dimensionals, so we just come in and we just make some cuts so we can use them all. So we have this one. I'm going to put about 4 areas. I'm going to cover 4 areas with dimensionals. Oops, he didn't want to stick, did he? It doesn't matter what it looks like because nobody's going to see it, right? Come in with your pokey tool, take the backing off. Put it about right here. Don't you just love that saying, life is a beautiful thing? Now what we've done is earlier we created a little bow and we used the shimmer ribbon that you can buy from Stampin' Up. So pretty. So pretty. And we're going to use just our little glue dot. Just stick it on there like that, like so. Get it exactly where you want it, about right there. Push it down. Oh, isn't that cute? Now what we need to do is do something to the inside, right? We certainly want something stuck there. So what we're going to do there, we're going to move our ink out of the way. We're going to put You Make Me Smile. So we are going to do that in Shaded Spruce. Okay, just put it about right there. Push it down, hold it, lift up, perfect. And next we're just going to put a piece of scrap paper here so we don't get any on the top part of the card, and we are going to stamp 2 little flowers. So we're going to use a little flower. We're going to use Cajun Craze. We love our Cajun Craze. Okay, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Just a very easy card to make, very quick. Now I can see that this went a little bit below the card. Not to worry. You just flip it over, use these wonderful scissors from Stampin' Up. They are so sharp. And you just simply cut it off. Not to worry. And there you have it. So we have this card that we just made. We have this one that we made earlier. And we stamped it the same, You Make Me Smile. And then we made another card. We used the same embossing, the same designer series paper, but we stamped it a little differently. And here we just simply used the stamps from the same stamp set, Colorful Seasons. Aren't those beautiful? I think they turned out so pretty. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Would you please go down and click subscribe and ring that bell so that you never miss another video that I put up? I want you to go out and have a wonderfully blessed day. Merry Christmas, and I will see you in the next video.